Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the month of September 2025. We're going to jump right in here. You have this Maiden card. It says, a new relationship blossoms. You have this Seer card. It says, follow your intuition. Sag, one thing I would say is, as far as love is concerned, it's kind of like a lot of you could be thinking about like attachment versus freedom. And here's what I mean by that. It's like some of you, it's like you might decide that you do want to be attached to a person, right? But others, you might decide that freedom is more important. Like, freedom in your life is like more important. And there are levels to that in between. It's like, maybe you want to be with a person where it's kind of like you see them once a week maybe, or twice a week or something, and that's it. Maybe others of you want to be with a person who wants to be with you 24/7. I don't know. You're all different. But even looking at your astrology, again, just Chris's crappy astrology here, boiling it down to its simplest parts, I would say attachment versus freedom is kind of the thing that Sagittarius will be thinking about right now, like whether you want it or not. And again, there is no right or wrong answer. That you have that card that says follow your intuition. It's like, what is your intuition telling you to do? Is it saying, yeah, you should be attached? Is it saying, yeah, you should be free? I don't know. You're all different. So, you're going to have to, kind of think about it on your own. If you're with a person, you could be thinking this. The other thing is that you could be, again, even if you don't want love, you could just be examining your attachment to things. And one thing that you could look at is your results, right? Three of Pentacles kind of says, if you are confused on making any decision at all in your life, just let the results speak for themselves. He's getting a very good result for the work that he has done. This is a card of quality work. But, I think that would probably be the most helpful thing for you, Sag, is, anywhere in your life where you're not sure what to do, like, are you getting a good result or not? If the answer is yes, then keep going, right? Why not keep getting those good results? If you're not getting a good result, then it might be time to do something different or make a change, right? And like I said, all your situations are different, and that's what I would be thinking about here. You have the Four Wands. Again, if you do want love, it looks really good. So I definitely feel you could be attracting something that you do want to be committed to. And the other thing to think about here, Sag, is it's like, the whole attachment versus freedom thing is like you might be attracting a person where maybe normally you wouldn't want to have like a strong attachment, but like this person you do. If that makes sense. Like you could be finding someone who's like a little bit of an outlier or different in some way that kind of like changes your opinion on things. So, that's also another possibility that's popping into my head. The other thing that's popping into my head here, I'm getting a bunch of messages for you, by the way, in this reading. So very active reading, I would say, Sagittarius. There could be a lot for you to focus on this month. The other thing that's popping into my head is like stress testing. It's like popping into my head that it could be a good month for you, especially with this Nine of Wands, to stress test things and to see what survives, for lack of a better term, right? And the Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. But, it's like when the rubber meets the road, it's like, and I'm speaking very generally here because I literally feel that you could be stress testing like everything in life. Your relationships, your business ideas, your plans, your goals, your wishes, everything. But I think it would be a good month to like see like what is going to last, what is going to stick around in your life, and then and pay attention, and whatever lasts, double down on those things, right? Whatever those things are. I don't know. It's popping into my head that way. Nine of Wands is also an amazing card for kind of putting up boundaries. It definitely this month, like everybody has had the devil except for a couple of people. You don't have it yet, although it could come up when we clarify. I think a couple other people didn't have it, but like whenever I see a card more than like 3 times, it kind of says to me that maybe the collective should be careful of something. And, with the devil, I don't even think this is like a warning or anything, Sagittarius. I think it's just saying like, hey, if someone seems toxic, they probably are. If, something toxic happens, you should probably avoid it. With also right now, we have Chiron retrograde in Aries. We also have the South Node in Virgo. We should all be paying very close attention to our health, especially around the 21st when we have that eclipse in Virgo. I've said this to almost everyone because I think it is very important that we all do things to stay healthy this month. If you do that, you'll be fine, right? If you don't, then you won't. So I would make sure you're taking really good care of yourself. And again, this isn't, I don't say these things to make people worry or anything like that. I just say that because this is not even from a position of worry, right? It just take care of yourself. There's nothing wrong with saying take care of yourself, right? It is a good thing. So again, I would just be doing things to make sure that you're taking extra good care of yourself. Sure. With the 3 of Cups, you have 2 cards. You have the 2 of Wands and the 3 of Cups. Yeah, pretty good. I think it is like a very social month for some people, and you definitely could be one of them. So, anything, you could be getting a lot of benefits through socializing, spending time with people who matter to you, surrounding yourself with the right people. All that would be good, obviously. The 2 of Wands, sometimes I think the 2 of Wands says stretch a little bit, and I do feel that for you here as well, Sag. Like, I think it would be a good time to just, push yourself just a tiny little bit. Not, you don't have to go crazy on anything that you're working on, but, pushing yourself just past a comfort zone would really be just, I think, really good for your personal growth. With the 4 of Wands, you have the Ace of Swords. I mean, it looks good. Even if you're thinking, I don't want a commitment, it's I don't know, again, you could be meeting a person that changes that for you. Like I said, sometimes I think that can happen. Sometimes I think we can say, I'm never getting married, and then all of a sudden you meet that person that changes your mind, right? So I'm not saying you have to, I'm just saying. So, take it how it resonates. But, it seems to me like someone is changing your mind. Now, this could be, and like I said, I don't even think this just has to be love. This could be any other type of commitment that you're making. Like maybe you're saying to yourself, I would never get another job. I never want to work doing X, Y, Z again. But, maybe a good opportunity comes up and you're like, okay, maybe I would, right? So, I don't know. I just get that feeling of your mind changing a little bit this month. But but again, not in a bad way. Clearly, this is going to be a win for you. The Ace of Swords is a win or a victory, and whatever it is could be very good. You have the World here as well. The World is an accomplishment. So, like I said, I kind of feel like saying expect the unexpected this month, but I don't. To me that's a little bit dramatic. Although I do feel that. I think you need to expect the unexpected as in but more from the position of you should allow yourself to be surprised by the month, right? It's I think if you enter into this month saying, I'm just going to see what happens and I'm going to allow the universe to surprise me, then the universe probably will surprise you. So there you go. With the 9 of Wands, you have the 4 of Cups. Yeah, too many past disappointments. I think all fire signs, but especially you, have experienced too many disappointments. It's if we experience one after another, it can be hard to believe that something good is going to happen, right? And I'm sure we've all been there in life where it's kind of we just don't think things can change. But it looks to me like things are changing, and so you should probably accept these opportunities that are coming to you into your life. Let's see here. Sorry, this is a newer deck. These newer decks stick to my table and I can't ever get them. But in your next row for the good stuff, you have this orbiting space card. It says something or someone is orbiting you, wanting to make its presence known. So there you go. Definitely a person. You have this lighthouse. It says you're a light that can't be hidden, so don't ever try to dim it for anyone. Yeah, we are in a time of the light. I think we all need to shine bright. I think we all, Pluto and Aquarius. I think Pluto and Aquarius encourages everyone to be an inspiration and, just to live your best life, right? And I think if you do that, then you are working with the energy and you will get the benefits spiritually. So, that's what I would do here. You have the 7 of Swords, the 4 of Swords, and the High Priestess. 7 of Swords can be lying, cheating, stealing, of course, but again, we don't really see that in this reading. Again, I always say 7 of Swords is a good card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what, and so he's stealing those swords from an army. He's going to war in a different way. This is especially for you, especially with Uranus in your opposite sign. Now, Uranus will retrograde out of Gemini this year. I think it's November 7th or somewhere around there that Uranus officially moves into Taurus, right, for one last time. And then, next year it'll move back into Gemini. But with Uranus and Gemini, your opposite sign, Sagittarius, you are definitely going to be getting some, I think you could be getting or downloading some crazy ideas. And I've said this to you before. I'll probably say it again because it's important. I would definitely pay attention to those crazier insights that you're receiving because you never know. Expect the unexpected. These ideas could lead to, crazy good stuff in your life. You have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is like resting, relaxing, recovering. Again, like I said, there is definitely a need for everyone to do things to stay healthy. But again, this is not something to worry about. It's just do things you would normally do to stay healthy. Drink plenty of water. Get plenty of rest. I bet this is a big one. Normally I wake up I'm like a little old man. I go to bed at like 8 o'clock. I wake up at like 4:30 every single morning. But like lately, I just need the sleep, and I've just been sleeping in. Like I haven't been forcing myself to wake up early. I just have been waking up when I wake up, right? Which is like today was like 6 o'clock, which believe it or not, that's super late for me. And it's like it kind of messes with my schedule a little bit because right now it's 9:47 a.m. You're the last reading that I'm doing today. Although I don't know, I feel kind of motivated. I might do 2 more after. But again, you're pretty much the last reading I'll be doing for the day. And normally I would be done by like 8:30 with all my readings, right? So it's kind of messing my schedule up a little bit. But at the same time, again, like I said, this month in particular, starting now, even if you're watching this in August, because this will be published on the 25th of August. Even right now, I would just do what you can to give yourself that like little bit extra, rest. It'll be worth it. You have the High Priestess. Definitely time to trust your intuition. We are in a very intuitive time. We literally, with Uranus and Gemini, could be downloading ideas, intuitions, things like that from the universe. So I would just pay attention. The High Priestess, sometimes I feel, is a card of really reaching your full potential. She is the card of potential. She has no roof over her head. And so there are no limits to what she can accomplish. The only limit is what's between her 2 ears, right? And so, I think you need to realize that you can probably accomplish a lot more than you think this month. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Fool. Don't be afraid of looking like a fool. That will be a fear. With Uranus and Gemini, I think for you, it's like that is the whole thing. You could come up with some sort of crazy, innovative idea for your life or for your business or whatever. The whole point of the Fool is he has to take the risk of looking like a fool. That's what makes him successful on going through the major arcana, right? He starts as a fool. We end with the World with the major arcana. You have, the Fool would be here, the World over here. And so he has to take the risk to start the journey in the first place. And, again, don't be afraid of looking like a fool. And with the Four of Swords, you have the Queen of Pentacles. I think this is something that you probably are having to deal with, like getting the resources necessary to start something. If you're wanting to do anything important with your life, you might be thinking to yourself like, oh, I don't have the time, I don't have the money, I don't have this, I don't have that. But that's kind of like part of the challenge as well, as to do it anyway, even if you don't think you can. It's like what is the smallest way you can start something, and what is the smallest way you can start, even if it's not close. I'll give you a great example. I'm working on a project behind the scenes, and basically I have this idea. But it's going to cost a fortune to build it. And I really don't feel like spending the amount of money that it's going to cost to build this. Like, I would have to hire a whole team and everything like that to build something. And so, like, even me, this month, that is like my thing that I'm working on this month, is just like the smallest, littlest version that I can do on my own, right? And it's not even close to what the big picture is going to be here, but it's close enough, right? And I think we all have to do that right now. Where the universe is asking everybody to do that. It's like saying, you might have to start very, very small, but do it anyway, because once you, like, the thing about the Fool is if he would just take the leap of faith, the step will appear, right? So it's like he might not think he'll be able to make the money to build what he's trying to build, but if he takes the small step, the universe will lead him to where he needs to go. With the High Priestess, you have the Sun, which is great. I knew there would be Sun energy because in your next row you have this sunflower showing up. But the Sun, of course, is like happiness, joy, peace, good energy coming in for you. That card says purification. The Sun absolutely can be purification. So, a lot of you could be focusing on pure energy or healing through purification. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this thriving card and this purification card. Yes, like I said, with all the devil energy everybody was getting, I think it is an amazing time to purify. Like I said, stay healthy. Don't put toxic substances into your body, things like that. Just stay healthy, right? And not telling anyone what to do, but I just think it would be a good idea. So there you go. But, purification, very, very good. I think you need to focus on where you thrive with that thriving card. You have had messages with me in the past about your environment, but I kind of do feel that everybody should work on this right now. It's like there are obviously certain environments we can put ourselves in where maybe we are more effective or we are more successful, right? And I think we all, it's like, it's been a message I've been getting for a while, and I still am not exactly clear on what the message is, but I think that we all have to make sure we are creating an environment of success for ourselves. Like I said, perfect example, me sleeping in. I'm a Pisces. I don't do very well with a little sleep, right? Pisces need their sleep. And so by me sleeping extra, I'm giving myself a better environment to do these videos in the morning, right? It's like if I woke up and I was cranky, maybe I wouldn't be as good on camera, which would create a worse effect, which would make other things not work. You know what I mean? So it's like we need to. I think that's what this is trying to say. It's like there are certain things that you do in your life that maybe make you more effective or kind of put you in that thriving energy, and I would do more of that. I've been this year I've been walking a lot more recently as well, which that makes me feel better. That makes me feel more energetic. And it's like I've just noticed the change in myself as well with that. So it's like I think there are all sorts of things we can do that really put us more in this energy of thriving. And I would do that, right? So there you go. Whatever it is for you, it's going to be different for all of you. You have the Knight of Swords, the Hangman, and the Empress. Yeah, no jumping to conclusions at this time. Knight of Swords is kind of my card. He is being too hasty. He's rushing. And, to me, he is a card of jumping to conclusions. And I think we're in a time where we should kind of like just gather the evidence, right? Pluto and Aquarius, there's something about it that really says to me that all of us should really be paying attention to what's working, what's not working in our lives. And we should probably be doubling down on things that work based off of the evidence. We have to really look and see what works. And as long as you do that, you'll be fine. You have the Hangman. Again, you're going to get the Hangman throughout Uranus and Gemini. Uranus and Gemini is going to get you to see the other side of things. I think a better way to describe Uranus and Gemini is, and what I've said to other people, is it's like we become like a 3D scanner. It's not even like seeing the other side. It's like imagine looking at things all the way around. But not even just 360, but 360 this way, 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 all the way. Like literally, if you could 3D scan ideas, that is Uranus and Gemini, especially for you being your opposite sign. And so, this could be a good thing because it can make you more, it can help you see things you wouldn't normally see based off of what you're trying to do in life. And, obviously that can make you more successful. You have the Empress. I think there is a lot of abundance coming in for you, but again, I think that there's a couple of tricks for you here, Sag, to be able to create this abundance, like, being a 3D scanner, looking at all sides of things, and, being willing to approach things from different ways that they work. I think stress testing ideas as well. Like, you can't just try something once and say, oh, this works or this doesn't work. You're going to have to try things a few times, stress test it for real and really find out like what works for you and what doesn't work for you. And doing those things, I think that's what's going to help you the most in creating abundance. I feel really good about creative ideas for you as well, which I'm pretty sure I've said to you recently. Three of Pentacles is putting your creative work on display. And so any of you who have creative ideas, plans, goals, wishes, dreams, any of you who work on creativity, the creative things, I think there could be a lot of abundance for you in doing that. Yes. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Star. Very good. We have the Sun in the Star. I love the Sun and the Star in a reading. This can be like fame and fortune. It doesn't mean you're necessarily going to become famous, but it is really good for attention. It is really good for success as well. So clearly a lot of success for you. Here you go. With the Hangman, you have the Devil. Yes. Told you. Like I said, basically everybody. So I would be careful of devil-like energy. I would be careful of energy vampires. Like, I really don't think the devil is ever really a big deal in readings because, again, the devil is just any energy vampire in your life. That doesn't even have to be a person. That could be, that could be an activity, a habit, a person, place, or a thing, anything that steals your energy. So all you have to do is just, it's very simple to solve this. Pay attention to things that you feel exhausted after and get rid of those things or fix them, right? And if you do that, you'll be fine. With the Empress, you have the Knight of Swords. Again, pretty good with the Star and the Knight of Swords. The Star with the Knight of Swords and the Empress and the Knight of Swords. This could be success rushing in. Again, normally the Knight of Swords would be being too hasty. But, he's attached to some pretty positive cards here. So, again, there could be a lot of success that's kind of like rushing into your life at this time. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Night Sky card. It says hope and guidance. Definitely could be some hope here. You have this follow your very first card was this card that said follow your intuition. You have the star, Night Sky, follow your North Star, stuff like that. You have this century plant. It says look upwards. So, maybe it would be a good month for you to have a star. The star is your North Star. It is your guiding light in life. It is that one thing that you focus on and that you create in life, or like your kind of like main goal. And so coming up with something like that would be good for you as well. You have the Magician, the World, and the Moon. The Magician is about manifestation, of course. Says you can have whatever you want. So I would practice manifestation. I'm not really getting much here. He's also pointing to this card right here. So whenever he shows up on the end, I always pull the card he's pointing to. It says blessings on it. So you definitely could be attracting some blessings at this time. I think these are probably blessings you've earned, because Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, that guy is putting the work on display, right? So, it would definitely be a good time for you to show off, Sag, like any work that you've done, anything that's special or important to you. You have the World. The World can be an accomplishment or achievement, of course. And I also feel like you could be completing the Fool's Journey very quickly. I'm not trying to make this sound dramatic or anything like that, but you do go from the Fool to the World in the reading itself very quickly. And so sometimes I do feel like when the Fool shows up and the World shows up, it's like you're kind of like going through something fast, or you're, completing a journey very quickly or learning something very quickly this month. And, again, we see that right here. So, like I said, you could be completing something pretty quick. You have the Moon. I like the Moon in the good stuff, because in the good stuff, it kind of says that you are gaining clarity very quickly. Normally, the Moon is like fears, fantasies, illusions, not being sure what to do. But again, showing up in the good stuff, it can say you are becoming clear in life very quickly, which, that could be good. So let's see. With the Magician, you have the Justice card. Evidence. It's like sometimes, like I do this too. I'm not calling you out or anything like that, Sagittarius, but it's like sometimes I come up with an idea and I think to myself, this has to work this way. But if I look at the evidence, there's like a better way to do it. And if I just did it the better way, it would just work. And that is kind of popping into my head here. It's like saying, just pay attention to the evidence. Like I said earlier, pay attention in work and business and love. It's like sometimes things work for a reason, and it's like maybe you want another way to work, but it would just be better for you to just let something work. With the World, you have the Hermit. Definitely not time to be a hermit with the Star and the Sun showing up in your reading, but it is showing up in the good stuff. So this could be saying that you are, getting attention, or you're standing out in the world, or you're doing something to stand out in the world. And, I would, obviously, with this card. He has the star in his lantern, and I always say he needs to shine that star out into the world. Like, he needs to shine that light, and so I think it would be a good time for you to shine your light. Although I kind of feel like you are. You have the sun and the star. With the Moon, you have the Ten of Swords. Again, Ten of Swords in the good stuff can be a blessing in disguise, and you have this blessings card coming up here. So there could be some sort of blessing in disguise coming in for you at this time, which would be great. So let's see here. Oh, I love this card. You have this fulfillment card. This is Saturn and Sagittarius, this card. This is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And there definitely could be some fulfillment coming in for you. Just the perfect Sag card. It's like a good card for going on adventures, which Sagittarius loves. And that could be where you're getting your blessings. You have this generosity card. That definitely looks like a very generous reading. Like you could feel that like the universe is being more generous with you, or maybe you feel like the universe is bringing you more rewards or more blessings. So obviously that would be a good thing. You have this resourcefulness card. You do have the Queen of Pentacles. I thought so. Queen of Pentacles is the card of resourcefulness. So, anything you can do to tap into your resources. Remember what I said about starting small? That's definitely popping into my head. It's like you might not be able to do exactly what you want to do, but you can get close. And I think that's like the important thing here, is that you just get close. You have this caution card. I do think it's a good month to again, pay attention to devil energy. This card, she has too many. All these animals are rushing in towards her, and so it could say that like there are a lot of people that want your attention this month, but you only have so much time to give. So make sure you're taking care of yourself and make sure you're avoiding toxic vibes. You have this escape card. Again, this is a pretty good card. It's kind of like the Chariot. There even is this Chariot right here. So I kind of feel that some of you could be removing yourself from limiting situations and entering into better situations, which is good. But this looks pretty good, Sag. I do like this. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.